Hello. Okay. I like this lighting better than the other one, but I'm like too lazy to hold it to where it looks really bad. Okay. That better? I think. Not quite sure. Okay. Um, let's see. Um, how was the relationship with your parents? I had a really good relationship with my parents until like when I got a little older and I started getting sadder. I noticed I stopped talking to them and I thought that they were bad people. But honestly, I think if you talk to your parents and you talk to people, although I sound like a very annoying, adult right now, it's true. Like, talk to your parents, talk to your friends, like, talk to people. Be out there. Because it makes sense. Trust me. Um, did you get into trouble? Sometimes, yeah. What was the worst thing you did? I did quite a few bad things. Some of which are pretty bad. Um, my brother was the type in the park that would get beaten up by another kid. I was the type to beat up another kid. Yeah. Um, at one point in kindergarten when we were learning about colors, I stood up on a chair, actually a table, a desk, and I shouted, "Everybody, since we call," and I said the name of an African American child, "black, even though he's brown, we should call everything that's brown black." Because, of course, I didn't really get colors, but that's like really bad. And then some kid was like, "Can I borrow a brown crayon?" And I was like, "You mean can you borrow a black crayon?" And I was just like, oh my goodness. When I got older, I'm like, what did I do that for? One time I just like said, a really bad curse word to someone for no reason because I was bored when I was little. Yeah. And I think at one point the teachers were like, you're not supposed to do that. You're not getting recess. And I was like, no. They're like, don't say no to the teacher. I was like, no. But let's see. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have an older brother. Um, and he has green hair. So we're Cosmo and Wanda. Um, what were they like growing up? Well, when he was little, he had little glasses, and he had like those wire type glasses. You know what I mean? Like mine are kind of like they have a thick outer thing. He had like kind of like wire type stuff, and they were the same shape, I think. They're like kind of square, and he looked like the little kid from Stuart Little. And he had like a little squeaky voice, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah. And he would always make me like wrestle with him, and I would dress up as his younger brother. I'd get in his clothing and dress up as his younger brother James, and we would play all the time. And yeah. um, we have wrestling matches as him being Dynamite Dylan and me being Killer Crystal, and we would have them in the trampoline or, etc. And we would always like stage them for different things, like like those cookie sheets that kind of fold. He like hit me in the head with one of them to where it would fold and it would look like it was like as if it hurt me, but it never did. Um, let's see. Uh, what did you look like? I already said that. Let's see. Describe yourself as a child. Was very, I was very happy, actually, but I kind of had two sides to me. I would have the side that would be very playful and, like, really bad, and then as I got older, I would have the side of me that would want to help people. Um, describe your nickname. How did you get it? It depends. From my dad, I got called a monkey my whole life. I still do. Monkey face, monkey, my little monkey. Because he said that, he always says this, he says that when I was a baby, I was a monkey, and he shaved me and cut off my tail. But yeah. He calls my brother Goose Man, Goosey, a silly goose. But let's see. I've gotten the nickname Chrissy. I actually hated it after a while because the people who would call me it would use that nickname for bad reasons. Like, there was someone who called themselves, you know, let's just say Sally, to make it easier on myself. Let's just say she called herself Sally on the internet. And yeah, she would call me Chrissy on the internet, and it was kind of awkward because, she would send pictures of herself, of her face to random people. I wouldn't care. But then she would do it of me. And I would just kind of be like, okay, no. Because then one of her boyfriends, I guess, said, do you have a boyfriend? And I'm like, what? And then he's like, do you have a boyfriend? Are you with someone like how I'm with someone? And I'm like, yeah, you better say you're with someone. And I was just like, no, not really. And he's like, don't worry, you'll find someone. And she's like, yeah, funny story about that. I sent him a picture of you. I'm like, dude, he could be locked in the bathroom by now. If you older gents and ladies and gents get that. Let's see. Who were your best friends? I didn't really ever have best friends. I kind of just had people who I was close to sometimes. Like when I was little, my best friend's name was, let's call her Melissa. I'm like trying to say names that are similar, but not too similar. I'll call her Melissa, and she was kind of like rich, and she would kind of look down on me, but it kind of showed more in the future. Like she used to be my best friend, and I had like my first sleepover with her. And the funny thing about me is I can't sleep over other people's houses because it's not comfortable. Because half the time it's someone's house who doesn't have a nice family life, and you could kind of feel the negative energy there, and not comfortable. So I used to like break down crying all the time, but yeah, and then pretty much, I would sleep over her house, and it'd be really weird because normally when you sleep over someone's house, you sleep on the floor, or they might even give you a bed, but that's pretty much it. Like you might sleep in the same bed, but that's it. I remember she slept in the bed, I slept in the bed. I was like, okay, this is okay. And then her mom came in and like snuggled her, and she snuggled a stuffed animal. And we're like 9, but still, I was kind of like, what the heck? Then when I got older, we were like watching a really corny movie, like Big Mama's House or something, and we slept in the same bed. And I think she even like, you know what I mean, like held on to me, and I was just kind of like, okay, you know what I mean. I got kind of weirded out, but I know she must be like a cuddler. I guess that's what you call it. That kind of weirded me out. But she was that kind of friend. And then after a while, she started kind of being mean. Like, she would look down on me because I didn't know how to play piano quite yet. Like, that was when I was still learning by myself. And she would always go like, well, in lessons, you learn to do this and do this with your hands. You know what I mean? Like, do like the key 1, key 2, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and your little tongue is sticking out. Little puppy. And then, I would just kind of be like, are you kidding me? And I would just, like, play my own thing, and she would kind of look at me like I'm crazy. Let's see. How would you describe a perfect day when you were younger? Probably, different days, different places. In the summer, the perfect day for me, and actually that just made me hungry for it. But I can't have it because it's not the summer. Perfect summer day for me when I was little would be going to the beach the whole entire day and, what do you call it? Like, staying there the whole day. And then, after that, eating, like, chicken fingers at the beach. And then just taking a bath and being exhausted and going to sleep. But that's now where I get exhausted. When I was little, I used to sleep in the car and then I used to take a bath. Usually a shower. That's what it was. In regular days, like when it was kind of nice out, the best day for me would be going outside and playing like a game of superheroes with myself, with my own characters that I imagined that were like Fire Girl and Ice Girl. And there would be this thing where I pretend to fly. Here, wait, I could even show you. where I do this. Like all day Edward Cullen style, and I'd be like running like that, and I'd be pretending that I'm flying. And then I would always pretend the same thing, and it kind of reminded me of like a Danny Phantom type thing, because her parents were working on an embarrassing project, and then like she touched it or something and turned radioactive, and I used to always pretend I was like the fire one, and like if I got mad at someone, I would just like explode on them or like shoot flames at them, and like or like quote unquote hang out with them at their houses, and like be in the space between my garage and my house and just kind of put a little beach chair there and talk to myself, and then someone would come by and I'd be like, oh, what are you doing? Get out, it's our house. Let's see. How do you think your life, what did you think your life would be like when you got older? Okay, when I was little, I didn't really think of the future. Actually, I did. I used to want to be a teenager, but I didn't want to be any teenager. I wanted to be a stereotypical teenager, which is funny because that's the thing I would like to avoid now. I used to want to go out on dates. I used to want to go to the prom. I used to want to do like all those things in the movies, and I used to play with my little Bratz dolls and pretend that they were going out on dates. And I remember I even had whatchamacallit, I made a comic strip, and it was kind of like high school stuff, and it was like a girl was saying that she was running late for class. She bumped into another girl, and then they were like saying what their names were. Yeah, right. And then they were like, okay, give me your number, and they like texted each other during class. Like so random. But yeah. Do you have any favorite stories from your childhood? Yes. I think. Probably the Lonely Cricket or whatever, Silent Cricket, something like that. It's an Eric Carle book, and like it tells you to like find the right people, pretty much. Like it's all sad because it doesn't fit into all the right groups, and then when it goes to like friends that relate to it, which is a cricket, it starts making noise with it, and then all the other crickets follow, so it's kind of like be yourself type of thing. It's like really cute, but I'm gonna go to the next thing. Okay, bye. Next video.